Well, well, well. What do we have here? We have 111, 211, 3114, 511, 611, and probably many more. Hello, 11. 111111111. The It's like I'm counting sheep, but instead I'm counting little baby puppy one-ones. Are you trying to kill us? No, here. This is how I would do it. Hello, one. That's how I would do it. Hi, welcome back, everybody. Welcome, Matcha, Jaxie, Saxlotto, Coco, Sakura, Vix, Pochita, Kristen, Glowstick. Welcome back. Abby, welcome. Welcome back. Welcome back. Kitty Cat, welcome back. Madeline, welcome back. Hola, Mira, welcome back. Tags, welcome back. Rin, welcome back. Welcome. How's everybody doing today? Or I guess tonight. Or maybe it is daytime for you. How are you doing today? How are you doing tonight? How are you doing in your time zone? How are you? I'm doing good. I'm glad. Honestly, like, I think yesterday, like yesterday and the day before, I was doing kind of meh. Today I'm doing pretty good. Today I'm a happy pup. I got stuff done. I was able to finish something I was doing for a while. And yeah, just I don't know. It's just it hasn't been a bad day, which means it's been a good day. Hey, let's go, Jaxie. I'm so tired. I spent all day running after toddlers. But why? Fuck them kids, bruh. I'm doing good. Thank you for asking. Thank you. Today is a good day. He rolls the R in my name the correct way. Mira. Está aquí. Mira. Oh, Pochita, you want a kiss? Hey, Kuma, welcome back. So today what we're gonna do, if you guys have not joined the Discord and you don't know the schedule, you don't know what it's like, I do recommend that you join it, because I do update my schedule every single week, and I update if I'm not gonna stream or if there's a change in plans. I update that on the Discord every single week. But today we're gonna be playing Resident Evil Village. We just finished 4 like last week. Amber, welcome back. It's my job. I spent yesterday and all morning cradling infants. Okay, you're cradling these infants, but you're not cradling me. Like, come on, you gotta choose. Oliver, welcome back. Yeah, we're gonna be playing Village today. But I also found out, because I remember I talked about it before, where I mentioned I didn't have the winter expansion. Apparently, my friend who I'm game sharing with, they do have the winter expansion, so I'm gonna use their version of the game. Which is like, I'm like, thank fucking God, man. I don't want to buy this $30 or $20 DLC. 7 宝宝你好吗宝宝 Yeah, I do want to be Cradle. Is there a problem with that? Is that going to be an issue? Listen, if you won't do it for me, at least do it for him. All right. You gotta cradle one of us, or you gotta cradle both of us. Really, you would? You'd cradle both of us? You pinky promise on that? Cause listen, pinky promises are sacred. You gotta really pinky promise. Yeah, we're a package deal. Okay, good, good. As long as you pinky promise, cross your heart, hope to die, then I accept. I guess no. We accept. Isn't that right? Not. I mean, not Nox. Isn't that right? Isn't that right, Noms? Noms is like a virtual squishmallow. I wish I could squish him and squeeze the life out of him like a squishmallow. He has the same consistency as one, kind of. Although I feel like he's more of a boba texture when you chew him, like. But when you actually squish him, he's like a little squishmallow. He's like one of those squish toys that when you squeeze it, the air pops out on like the back end. You know what I'm talking about, right? Like those rubbery squishy toys. He's like one of those. It's true. Rev, welcome back. Those don't break easily. They're made of like rubber. Noms ate the gum fruit. The gomu gomu no mi. He ate that. Now he's a rubber pup. And I'll be like, gomu gomu no. One kiss. Is he a stressful? I mean, if you want him to be. He's kind of invincible, but he's also harmless. I have a Gengar Squishmallow every night, and I know how Squishmallows feel. Akaza, thank you for the 10 months. 10 months. No way. Tier 3 for 10 months? You're crazy. You're insane. You're inazy. You're crazane. W, let's go. Sorry for not being active. It's been a bit tricky to enter Twitch in China. I know. I wish. I've been having scheduling issues, so I haven't been able to like actually go live on B Station at all, really, which makes me really sad. And I wish I wish I could just prioritize that for a time, but it's so late at night when I have to. when I'd be able to stream. Oh, Sakura, you want a kiss? Noms is so merchandisable. I want to squish him and bite him and hug him. I know how merchandisable my little guy is. He literally, I feel like everyone could use a Noms in their life. So just hope and pray that one day we grow enough to where we can get a Nom Squishmallow. That's like big goal number 1. Right after 100k subs. I mean 100k followers. That's big goal number 1. So I guess it's big goal number 2. The double digits. Should I draw a fan art of Noro? Yes, always. It shouldn't even be a question. That should be a determining. What is it? It should just be like a statement. It shouldn't be should I. It should be I will. Aaliyah, welcome back. Lonnie, welcome back. Welcome back. Dude, 100k subs would be actually crazy. I think you can make a campaign for a Noms plushie on Makeshift, but you gotta gain money from the campaign. Yeah, that's like the issue. That's the issue. Yunbin, welcome back. See, I really wouldn't do it unless I was like 100% absolutely serious about it. Norlina. Guys, do you think Norlina would have big tits or no? Or do you think she would be like a petite girl? Like one of those like big personalities with small bodies? Or would she be like like mommy milkers kind of girl? Yeah, you see, I like that. I like that answer. I like that. She would have a huge personality. She'd have 2 very big personalities. Big titty, sexy lady. Oh. Whoa. Well, James, thank you for the 10 gifted. What the heck? Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. W. Level 4 hype train before the 20-minute mark is crazy. Thank you. Thank you. That's so nice of you. Let's go. Let's go. Drink water if you're thirsty. Eat food if you're hungry. Get sleep if you're tired. Oh, thank you, Oliver. Thank you. You would give your soul for a Nom's plushie? Well, I happen to have a contract right here. Feel free to sign it. Thank you, Jeff. I hope you're doing well today. Thank you so much. Hi, Kyoko. Welcome back. Welcome back. You want to? You really would sign it? You really would sign it? Is that a promise? Is it permanent ink? No, it's a Sharpie. You know, I was very surprised. I was very surprised to know that most government officials use Sharpie to sign instead of like an actual ink pen or quill. I'm like, can we just use quills? Come on. You can have my soul for free. Okay, I'll just snatch that. Bring back quills. Bring them back. Bring back quills. I want a quill. I know they're kind of... You know what we should also bring back? Typewriters. Bring those bitches back. Those thick bitches. Bring them back. Mari, welcome, welcome, welcome. You know, typewriters were like, you had to type it all perfectly, and if you messed up one time, you had to start all over again. You already have my heart. I'm not giving you my soul for free. Okay, I'll buy you a McNugget meal. Like, would that be enough? I totally eat a quill. They're just so they look so tasty. What do you mean? It's ink. What do you mean it looks tasty? Scott Emily, thank you so much for following. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Mira, welcome back. Teeny, thank you for the 4-month streak. Let's go. W, baby. Can we get some W's? Avon, welcome back. We got messenger pigeons for real. Honestly, I would be down with that. I would actually be so down. Or like falcons, like messenger falcons, and they like carry like the note like on their little claws. Then you're like, go. It goes. You always wanted an owl like in Harry Potter. Honestly, I feel like if I were to have a bird, I'd really want either a falcon or an eagle. Like one where I don't have to feed it. It can kind of like hunt for itself. But obviously it's still loyal to the top dog. You know what I mean? What should I draw? Your mom. Any bird of prey then? Barn owls. I've never heard of barn owls before. You want a hawk? If I had a hawk, I would name them Tua. So I would say, this is my hawk Tua. What do you mean you've never heard of barn owls? I've never heard of them before. Never, never. You guys don't like my name choices? Guys, I think I have pretty elite choices for names, all right? I named you. Yo, Hawk Tua would be badass. No, actually though, right? So if I had a hawk, and then he was very like bold and brass, and he was like, and I was like, and then people were like, whoa, that's a hawk. And I'd be like, yeah, this is my Hawk Tua. And they'd be like, no way. And then they would give me money because they think that name is so amazing. Like they would pull out their wallet, take out $10 and put it in the hawk's hands. and then they would say, "This is for your hawk Tua." Like, I feel like that's exactly what would happen. Let me call over my hawk Tua. Wrong, I'd rob you. You'd rob me? Well, I'm pretty sure my hawk Tua would actually protect me from your robbing. So, who's the fool now? Who's the fool now? Pulls out the spray bottle. Get the spray bottle away from me. Hi Domo, welcome back. Teach Tua tricks. Maybe teach him to talk to you. Akaza, I swear to God. You know what? I blame myself. I brought this conversation to the light, and now I have to deal with it, I guess. I'm gonna be like, yo, Hawk Tua, go spit on that thing. And then he'd be like, I'm sorry, is that not like genius? Like, am I the minority here? Like, am I? Do people just think my ideas are bad? The bird spitting sound. Hi Riri, welcome back. Feels like a Pokemon. Like, Hawk, use Tua. And he goes, Hawk! Okay, perfect. Okay. Let's open the game. Let's well, actually, first what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna use the restroom really quick. Give me like 1 minute. I'm gonna use the restroom. Hi Ray, welcome back. I'm gonna use the restroom, and then we're gonna start Resident Evil Village, okay? I heard this game is really scary, so I'm a little scared, but yeah, I'll be right back. What happened? Oh, Kasaya, thank you so much for the raid. Welcome, Raiders. Welcome. Welcome. Thank you so much for the raid. Wait, let me shout you out. Thank you so much. How was your stream? Did I wash my hands? Yes, I washed my hands. Of course I did. Quan Dingle Dangle, thank you so much for following. Welcome. All right, I gotta make myself a little bit smaller. You're welcome. Thank you for the shout out. Great stream for 8 hours. That's crazy. 8 hours. I need to be as good as you. I can't. The longest I've streamed is maybe like 5 hours. So I gotta catch up to speed. I gotta just be better. Okay, we should be good. All right, we should be perfect. I gotta move myself a little bit right here. Yeah. Okay, we're gonna be playing Resident Evil Village. I'm so scared, nervous. This game has a lot of jump scares. Apparently, it's kind of as scary as 7, but not quite. It's like a little bit better. Apparently, it has similar gameplay to like 4 that we just played. It was a mess. The only thing I could say is banana peel tastes terrible. Why would you do that to yourself? Banana peel. Oh. All right, let's do this. All right, new game. Casual because we're pussies. Because also we're just bad. Oh.
Long ago, a young girl went with her mother to pick berries for her father, who was hard at work.
Wait, this is already kind of different.
The forest greeted them with a dark, cold silence.
Whoa.
The bushes empty. Yet determined to find the berries, the rascal broke free from Mother's grasp and vanished into the trees. Mother's worried cries faded fast as the girl ran on, over vine and under branch, and into the forest deep. Feeling strange eyes upon her, the girl recalled Mother's scary bedtime tales, and her throat became bone dry.
This what is going to happen in this game? What the hell is this?
He greeted her warmly and bit his own wing. "Come, child, quench your thirst," he said. So she drank the thick, dark blood and smiled with joy. Passing through the graveyard, menacing storm clouds loomed, and the air turned bitingly cold. The girl was shivering in her thin clothes. Then a dark weaver appeared, and with a click of his fingers, crafted mist into a beautiful dress.
Okay, I'll pay
"Come,
attention, I'll pay
child,
attention.
Warm yourself," he coaxed. So she clothed herself and smiled with joy. Across waters deep and ominous she went, hoping a boat she found would carry her home. But hunger's grip tightened and her heart grew heavy. Then the Fish King appeared and offered
Bro, that's
one
like
of his
20
many
eyes. What the?
fins. "Come, child, eat your fill." So the girl ate and smiled with joy once more. Continuing on, she soon entered the forest's dark heart. Then an iron steed appeared, bearing a beautiful golden gear.
Okay.
The creature said nothing
Fish and
as the girl
horse and little
approached
girl and evil
snatched
witch.
what she thought was another gift.
That's
The
a
horse grew
gear.
angry and summoned the other monsters.
Are these all the monsters we're gonna fight in this game?
Terror filled the girl's heart as the wild wind rose around the beasts. Suddenly, a witch appeared, dark yet regal.
Oh. I'm assuming those are our enemies.
Gifts we gave, but more you
Oh, it's
took, she
Mia.
smiled. So
I remember
now
Mia.
return is due. In a blink, the girl was trapped inside a mirror.
We had to rescue her last time. Is that our baby?
She's asleep.
What
Bro,
is
I fucking hate
creepy
babies so
story?
much.
She's only 6 months old.
Woman at the store said it was traditional. A local tale. Besides, Rose doesn't seem to mind.
Because she doesn't
Rose.
understand it. Thank God. We moved here so that she wouldn't have to deal with any of that, remember?
There's nothing wrong with my memory.
Oh, whoa.
You're just being paranoid.
It's not... Never mind.
Excuse me.
But I'm not paranoid. I'm just cautious.
Then, go cautiously take your daughter to bed.
Along for Hisoka, thank you so much for following. Welcome, welcome.
I'll finish dinner.
Also, F55, welcome, welcome. What is your middle name? That's a good middle name to have. Wait, okay.
It's okay, Rose.
Oh, hi,
Your mother doesn't want
Rose.
to remember it. I can't blame her.
Hi. Oh, look around.
Did you say something?
Nothing.
No.
I'll put her down.
Okay, let's put her ass down. Where is she? Hey, Mia. What's poppin'? What's
Don't
good?
get too close to me when I'm cooking, babe.
Oh, I'm sorry. Yes, Mom. Okay, she's kind of cute. But to be fair, she'll be really fucking annoying and I'll really hate her if she starts crying. I hate when babies cry. I hate it. Oh, relax.
They're there.
It's
like I said
okay.
to your mom, that book's too scary for you.
But you're a crybaby? You just call me a crybaby? I'm not a crybaby. Oh, here's the bathroom. Okay, wrong room. Where do we put her? Rose, where the hell is your room? Guide me, baby. Infant, tell me where to go. I can call you bot. A box. That's a very interesting name to have.
Almost there, honey.
We slay all day and every day. Welcome. Oh, this is your room. Yo, you're kind of hooked up. You got the blocks. You got the roses closed for tomorrow. All right, can I put you down? There you go. There you go.
Sweetheart. Don't you worry. I'll be right downstairs. Daddy won't let those weird fairy tale monsters get you.
Mm-hmm. That's right. Okay. Do. Hey, Mia. Shoddy. I finished the task. Where the fuck are you? I want some dinner. Hey. Oh. Ooh.
Is she okay?
Sleeping like a
baby.
That smells good. What's that?
Oh, hands off, mister. It's churba de legume. It's a local recipe.
Wow, you've gone full native, haven't you?
Local wine, too. But if you're gonna keep sulking all evening, maybe you shouldn't have any. You really have to stop worrying.
It's just finding you in Louisiana, the pregnancy.
Oh, I remember.
Just moving us here, military training, it all happened so fast, you know?
Well,
Yup.
at least we're all together.
Yeah.
You, me, Rose. Now, everything's gonna
Seriously, think we can just forget about what happened in Louisiana?
We never
It happened
forget.
so long ago. I don't understand why you are so...
Mia, get down!
What?
Mia!
Who did that? Mr. President, get down!
Mia, oh God.
Bro, we started for 5 minutes. Who's that? Who are you? Chris?
What the hell?
Sorry, Ethan.
What?
No!
Bro, she's dead. Chill. Bro, chill. She's dead. Bruh. President is down. Bro, Chris was our friend. Oh. Is that Rose?
All clear.
Rose.
What the hell you doing with my daughter?
Package secure, sir.
Package?
Take him
Oh,
away.
nah.
I said get your hands off her!
Ethan, no.
Rose.
Tell us what's going on, bro.
Get him out of here.
He was like, Ethan, no, bad dog. Does he know? Does he know we're playing this game? Oh.
Hey, Doc.
Oh, so bright.
I've got your daughter's results back, and I'd like you to come in to talk about them. How about next Thursday, 4 o'clock?
No problem. We'll be there. That was the doc. She'll see us next week.
The doc? What's going on?
Hey, now. Think positively, all right? We talked about this.
I know. hardly talk about anything else.
We don't talk anymore.
Keep telling
We
me
don't
it's not
talk
Rose that I'm
anymore.
worried about.
Well, then what are you worried about? Look, she's gonna be fine. I just know it. What else matters?
We matter, Ethan! You matter! You just won't.
Mia, what are you talking about? Is there something you're not telling me?
Mom, Dad, why are you fighting? Mom, Dad, please.
Damn it. I have to take this.
You know that picture of the furry who's like crying and you see the shadow of the mom and the dad fighting? That's literally me right now watching my two parents fight, Mia and Ethan. Noms, did you see that? Look away. Oh. Me when my moods are arguing. Whoa, what happened here?
About damn time. What's your status? Is the package safe?
What are you talking about? Where's Chris Redfield? And Rose?
Who is this? This is a secure channel. You are not authorized.
Fuck.
Oh my god.
What the hell happened here?
Oh nah. Oh nah. Oh nah. Oh nah. Nah. It's useless. Mission objectives: eliminate target, recover body, secure Rosemary Winters and Ethan Winters. Move the two Winteresses to Site C for further investigation. At least 2 transport officers to accompany them. Can we like go in here? What? It's gonna be fun. I don't like this. Oh, so cold. Ooh. It's also really bright. Can I like turn down the brightness? That didn't really help much. Okay, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. Oh, that's her shadow. Hey, yo. Okay, I'm ready. I'm ready for anything. Listen, if I survive 7, I can survive 8. Okay, I'm already doubting myself a little bit. La da da, la da da, la da da, la da da, la da da. Oh. Okay. Come here. Oh. Ugh. 8 is easy. Are you sure? What was that? What was that? What was that? What was that? Oh, it's a dead bird. It's my hawk, Tua. Oh my god, all my hawks. The 201, 202, 203, 204. They're all dead. Oh, Hawk 5, 205. Ah, 206. Beast-like growling. Ah, the furry convention's in town. Brothers in arms, I'm here. I've arrived. Shall we do the furry salute? Mina. I am afraid. I'm afraid. I'm afraid. Stop it, stop it, stop it, stop it, stop it. I'm afraid. I don't care about your stupid thumps. All right? I don't care. I don't care. I like don't care. Like you're in. Shut up. Okay. What? Oh, it's a rat. Oh, there's gonna be something behind me. I know it. I know it. I know. Okay. I do it. 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 What is that? What was that? Hey, you guys. Oh, oh God. Oh God. Oh God. Okay, you know what? I don't have a choice. I don't have a choice. I gotta find Rose, my daughter. Bruh. Rose! Where are the... Ugh. So much blood. Rose, where are you? I got something to show you. What happened here?
What did all this?
Yeah, what the fuck was it? What the fuck? What did do all this? Oh, it's nothing. Okay. Is there any weapon? Anything? Anything. Really, anything would be good. Anything. Oh, it's daytime. He got ouchies. Please, 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 please. Listen, I know whatever is out there wants to hurt me, but I'm just looking for my kid, all right? I'm just...
Where the hell am I?
What? What the hell? Okay, it was not daytime, like just... like 20 seconds ago. Oh God. Oh God, oh God, oh God. Oh, oh! Where is she? Hello? Welcome to the village? What do you mean welcome to the village? Hello? Is anyone over here? I'm looking for my daughter. Guys, I'm afraid. Okay, you guys were right. I'm afraid. Oh. My inventory. What is it? What is this doing? Yeah, what is this doing here? You're here? Do you promise? Do you really promise? Oh, it's locked. It's locked. It's locked. Okay. I think Noro might be afraid. I don't know. You know what? You know what? I'll leave that up to your imagination. I'll let you decide. Oh, it's like smoke all of a sudden. This is a big ass village. Do not enter. Do I need ear scratchies? Yes, please. Pretty please. Did we... were we here before? Yeah, we were. Okay. Do not enter. Welcome to the gulag. Oh, God. Okay. Okay. I don't really know where to go. Jaxie, you want to kiss? Mwah, 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 mwah. Oh, thank you, Laser. Oh. I'm not.
What
The
happened?
village lit.
The, the village is kind of lit. Whoa, it's a fucking goat. I just lost my dog, and my brother told me how to change the way. What is this? What does it say? Locked due to missing homeowner. Okay. I didn't necessarily ask, but thank you for the note. Yeah. What? I have a knife? Wait, where's the knife? A knife! Oh, somebody's gonna be like right here. Yep, someone's gonna be here. Someone's gonna be here. I can feel it, I can feel it. All right, someone's gonna be here. There's a knife, which means we're gonna have to fight. It's gonna be right there, right? Right there, right? Mm-hmm.
Shit.
What? Oh, the door. Okay, it's gonna be like wherever I go next, right? Am I right? I'm ready. Hello?
No, friendly.
Bro,
Who are you? Who sent you?
your daddy, Brett.
There was an accident down on the road. What's going on?
Was I right or was I right? Was I right or was I right?
Oh no. They're coming.
Who is? What the hell was that?
You have a gun?
What?
Please tell me you have a gun.
No, why would I?
Oh God. Oh God. Oh God.
Take it!
Oh, okay, thank you.
Tell me what's out there. Hey, are you listening?
Hey!
My friend.
What the? Shit!
What the hell? What is that? What is that? What is that? What is that? Stop it. What? What? What?
Dead
What?
body?
What? No. No.
There's more.
What is oh God. Oh God. Oh God. Oh God. Oh God. Oh God. Oh, there's so many dead bodies everywhere. Excuse me. Thank you. Damn, he's like dead.
Jesus Christ.
Okay, what's gonna pop out?
What the hell is wrong with this place?
What's gonna pop out? I know something's gonna pop out. Yep. What's gonna pop? Oh. Hello? Oh my God. Oh my God, it's right there. What is that?
Shit! What the fuck was that?
My hand! My hand!
No.
Whoa. Oh, nah. Stop it. Die. Little bitch. Don't you dare ever do that to me again. What is that? Oh. Full colors. It's just Karen. She wants the manager. She can manage these nuts. Oh, there's a body, which means there's going to be... Oh. All right. Nope. chem fluid. Oh, yep. Wait, where'd it go? Wait, it just disappeared. Wait. Oh, God. Oh, nah. Oh, nah. Wait, where is it? Where are you? Oh, they're coming. Oh, they're coming. They're coming. Come on, you guys. No, no. No. Oh, God. My gun. Yeah? Hey, you guys. What you want?
Is it over?
Is it over? I hear them. It's not over. It's not over. All right, I'm ready for you.
If there are any survivors out there, come to Louisa's house near the fields.
Survivors?
The fields. I've been so lonely, girl. The fields. Do I need health? No, I think I'm good. It is never, ever not over. Oh, my hand. Oh, my hand. Is there a map? Oh, there is a map. Okay, let's see. Wait, where do I have to go? Over here? I guess just follow the blood, I guess. Oh, yep, I hear you. Don't worry, I hear you. I hear you. I actually hear you. It's okay. Like, you don't have to. Yep.
Damn it.
Where are you? Where are you? You little stupid. You stupid face dumbhead. You oh, a scrap. Thank you. All right. Going to my Call of Duty roots and camping. I hear you. Do you hear them? I hear them. Oh, yeah, there's one right there. Oh, there's one right there. Yep, I knew it. Yep.
There's no end to them.
Whatever, I don't care. Oh my God! Help me! Help me! Help me! I'm a good boy! I'm a good boy! I'm good! Yeah? Where are you? Oh God.
Shit!
Yeah, bitch! Oh, they're coming. Oh. Oh, I'm out of ammo. No! Oh God! What is that? Dog, what is that? Oh God. Oh nah. Whoa. I gotta heal. Okay. Excuse me. Just die. Just run. What do you mean run? What do you mean run? I got a herb. Oh my God! sorry to my mom. I'm sorry to my dad. I'm sorry to. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Oh, it's locked. I can't run. There's nowhere to go. Oh, it's coming. Oh, Jesus Christ. Where? Where? Oh, God. Oh, oh, oh. No. Oh, my God. I'm gonna fucking die. Go away. Go away. Go away. Go away. Oh. Yes, right, fucko. What the fuck is that? What? They have horses! They have horses! What? That's a man! That's a man! Whoa! Holy shit! What the fuck is that? Guys, don't worry, I can take him. I can take him. I can take him. Ah, my leg. That's a fatal wound. That's fatal. My hand, my leg, my hawk, my tua, they're all gone. You're supposed to leave it in. Guys, we've only been playing for like 20 minutes.
Wait.
Who the fuck is you? Nah. Who is you? Who is you? Hey, what? Hey, hello?
In life and in death, we give glory.
Hag. She is a hag.
Hello? You shouldn't be out here. It's not safe. What the hell? Hey, can you hear me?
It's you,
Ugh.
the child's father.
You know what? She's kind of bad, though. I can't even lie.
You mean Rose? Is she here?
Rose! Rose, yes. She is in great danger. Since Mother Miranda brought her to the village, we have fallen into darkness.
What are you talking about? The monsters?
The castle bell heralds danger. They're coming!
No. Wait. Where's Rose? Who's Mother Miranda?
The bell tolls for us all. They're coming again!
Rose is here?
What a crazy psycho bitch lady. Oh, whoa. What is this? What is this devil worship? Guys, what the hell is happening? So I remember in 7, okay, if I'm getting my memory correct, I remember that, okay, this is where we are. Okay. I remember that we were, basically there was this mold. It like, we offered the goats warding to protect the village and its people. Any who break them shall feel Mother Miranda's wrath. And the whole family was basically infected with this mold, and it was kind of like a new mold virus kind of thing. And Vivian, the girl, like the little girl who's actually the old lady in 7, basically was kind of responsible. All right. Okay, nothing. Okay, got scrap. All right, Miles, see you later. See you later. Yeah, Evelyn. That's right. That's right. Okay, maybe we should. Oh. All right. Let's see. Castle Dimi.
Guess this leads to the castle.
Castle Dimitrescu. Do you remember what happened to Ethan? I remember he got killed by the guy, and then what happened after? And then we basically got saved by oh, we haven't been here. Oh, we got saved by I don't know, by the people. Oh, that's one of them. Oh God, I don't like that noise. Oh. Okay. Ooh, okay, now we're playing. Now we're playing. Alicia, welcome. Thank you. You like my voice? Thank you. All right, can we craft things? I'm pretty sure we can. Items can... Okay. Okay. We're good. We're good. Hello? Is anybody here? I had something for you. Hi V, drive safe, okay? Okay, I'm assuming what we need is we gotta go back to that place. Maybe we should like blow off the door. Whoa. Where? Oh. Ushi, thank you so much for the raid. Welcome, raiders. Welcome. Thank you for the raid. Oh, I hear them. Where are you? Welcome, raiders. Welcome. I will shout you out in a second. I'm very afraid. Whoa. Where? Literally. Oh, yeah. All right, fuck it. Come here. I'm ready. Okay, let me shout you out. Thank you for the raid. How was your stream? All right, I'm ready for you, dumb, you sticky ass. You're playing Lethal Company? Let's go. Fan art of Tupac. Where are they? You hear them, right? Bro, where are you? You have a few mods installed? Let's go. Come here. I'm ready.
Door. Please.
Oh, okay. I got you.
What are you doing here?
Whoa, hi. Hey.
Stay back.
Oh, okay.
Don't hurt us.
Whoa. It's okay. I'm not gonna hurt you. I'm just glad to see normal people at last. Have you seen any other survivors?
No. They're all in Louise's house. And she's not answering and the gate is locked.
Quiet, girl. He's an outsider.
Oh, they're here.
Shit, we're sitting ducks in here. Can your old man walk?
No. One of the monsters cut him. He's lost a lot of blood. We have to get into Louise's house.
Quiet. Must be a way inside. Stay here, be quiet, and don't move until I get those gates open.
Oh, bro, chill, chill. Ririko, you want a kiss? Mwah, 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 mwah. All right, we gotta get the gates open. We gotta get them open. How do we do that? Oh, they're over there. They're over. I see them. All right, you dumb. All right, you dumbasses. Oh, I see one there. I'm ready for you. Come here. Come here. Yeah, come here. Come here. Oh, hey. Oh, they don't die at one shot. No way. No way. No way. Bella, thank you so much. Thank you so much for following. Welcome. Just die. Just die. Go down. Yeah, hey, hey. Yeah, hey, hey. All right, let's craft some ammo. All right, hey, what's up, guys? Yep, yep, yep. Any more? There's always more. There's always more. I wish I could jump. I really wish I could jump. I don't like that. I don't like it televising what it's doing. Okay, how do I get this open? There's got to be a way. Okay, that's one. Wait, is this? Yeah, okay, right. Perfect. All right. That's one. Hi, bunny. Mwah. Return with cuteness overload. Let's go. Oh, my window closed. There we go. All right, we got to get this stinky thing open. All right, let's go. Look at the map. Go that way. Turn around. Papa, thank you so much for following. Welcome. So we have to go here, but we should go back to the church. Oh, I'm sorry. We should go back to the church first. Which is this way. Yeah, apparently, so what oh, it's not this way. Which way is it? This way, wait. No. It's that way. So I heard this game was a lot like Resident Evil 4 in terms of like, you know, the gameplay, and there's like even a merchant that you have to visit. So in a lot of aspects, it's very similar to 4. Which is honestly why I wanted to play 4 before I played 8, like Village. Just because apparently 8 takes a lot of inspiration. What the meep are we playing? We're playing Resident Evil Village. And I have not gotten scared once so far. I've been very brave. If you can believe it. Yeah, I've not gotten scared a single time. Lies? I speak no lies. It gaff. It gaff. You believe me? Really? You believe me? Really? Bad example for the children to lie. I have never lied a day in my life. Did you know that humans are actually incapable? Oh, not humans, but dogs are actually incapable of lying? Incapable. There we go. Oh, yeah, there we go. Find shelter. All right. Let's find that shelter. Oh, shotgun ammo. Let's go. Gonna blow they face off. All right. I'm assuming we go this way.
Hang on, Papa.
You guys good? Oh, I guess you're not.
Something quick.
All right. I gotta do something else. And we cannot go this way. Let's look at the map. There is something here. So that's the house. Can't go that way. There's like a little well. Need some kind of other item. Think, Noro, think.
If we don't hurry, Phil.
Yeah, I know. Devilish Josh, thank you so much for following. Welcome. Oh, what's this? Nothing. Let's see. Nothing there. Check the other wells. True. Okay, let's find another well. Have we been in this house before? I think, yeah, we have. Okay, let's go check the other wells. There shouldn't be other wells like back here. Like here. Yeah. All right, let's see. Oh, they all need some kind of item. What kind of item do they even need? And here we need a key. I don't know where to find a key, but we'll find it. What I really need to find specifically, did I check everything here? Should disaster fall upon the village, seek out the crest. One is in the care of the church, the other is at Louisa's house. Okay. Because really what we have to do is we just have to get the other one that's like in there. But I don't really know how to get this one. You see this? It's like right there. We need that. Let's see. Oh, there's another well here. Do we have an item? No, they all need some kind of item. Huh. I'm like lost. Well, I'm not lost, but I'm like, I don't know what to do. Or where to go. Stronghold, graveyard, mill. The mill. Can't go here. We gone this way? Yes. Oh, there's gunpowder. Have we checked all of this? I'm pretty sure. Yeah, I'm pretty sure we did. What am I searching for? Apparently, okay, look for Rose. That's the main goal. Find shelter in Louisa's house. Find a way to open the castle gate. So I guess we need to find Louisa's house. Louisa's house. So we're looking for Louisa's house. Where even is it? Isn't Louisa's house up the hill where you found those normies? Okay, hold on. Let me... Apparently this is not Louisa's house. Apparently this is just a place. The map helps a lot. Okay, I need to talk to you. Can I shoot you? No. But I wish I could. The map helps a lot. So that's the well. Let's just zoom out all the way. Oh, take that, thank you. So, wait. Okay. It said up the hill. Let's go back to the church because that note said that Louisa's house was up the hill. Right here. So seek out the crest. One is in the church, so we have to find Louisa's house. Hi Derek, welcome back. Up the hill. So we need to find the crest. We can't go here because we don't have a key. We need to find the other crest to open up the castle. But I'm trying to like, how do we even open that up? Because I'm pretty positive the other crest is this thing right here. I'm pretty positive. Stronghold, graveyard, mill. Or maybe we need to find the church. One is in the care of the church, so I guess where's the church? Okay. Let's look at our map. Because we gotta open this up. The church. The church. Grave. Oh, the church. But that is the church. So then Louisa's house is where? All right, church. The other is at Louisa's house. So Louisa's house is like not there because we checked everywhere. Oh, you know what? Hold on. Maybe what happened is that the other crest is like right there and we missed it and yeah, maybe what it is that it's like right around here and I'm like missing it. That's gotta be it. Because this is the well. It's not Louisa's house. You're so close to the gate. Yeah, it's like right here. Is there a way to enter through this house? Perchance? Check the doors and the gates. Go through the window. Alright, let's do it. Yeah. Oh. Oh my god. Oh my god, it's right here. Well, chem fluid. There's gonna be other thingies here, right? Oh.
It's clear.
Oh my god, I'm so stupid. Guys, there was nothing there, alright? We killed them all.
Took your damn time.
Alright, shut up. Alright, shut up. It's not my fault.
He's not used to relying on other people. I'm sorry. We'll be safe in here, won't we?
Safer here than out there, that's for sure. Hey, do you know anything about what's going on around here?
It doesn't make any sense. Mother Miranda has always protected us.
Nobody's answer.
Father?
Help me.
Oh, poor guy.
We have to get inside.
Okay.
Hello? Anybody home?
Maybe a familiar voice. Louisa! Open up! It's me, Elena!
Stop shouting. You'll draw the monsters.
Julian, calm down.
Who's this?
A friend!
Stay back.
Your one and only wifey. Thank you so much for following.
God's
Welcome.
sake, Julian, let us in.
No, they'll smell the blood. You'll endanger us all.
My father will die out here.
That's not my problem.
What's going on?
These people want to let a dying man into our home.
Come now, these people are our friends. Go on, go inside. Come now, this way. You're not from this village.
No, I'm not.
No. I'm Ethan.
Julian, go make yourself useful and check the grounds. I said go!
Hi, Zashi. Welcome. Yo, why are you looking at me like that? You got a problem with me?
If Elena trusts you, then so do I. Come inside, Ethan.
Oh, okay.
Wait here. I'll check on the others.
Gee, thanks. Okay, I'll wait right here, because I'm a good boy. Wait, let me actually check something. Okay, there we go. Yeah, I'm a good boy. Louisa, they broke in again. Got more of the livestock. I don't think we'll make it through the winter at this rate. Ernest is still missing too. Can't find him anywhere. Has Mother Miranda abandoned us? Oh, I could save! Excellent. Alright, what do I do here? Oh, hey.
This way.
Oh, yes, ma'am. You can walk any slower, please. Oh, okay.
Come inside, the others are waiting.
The gang's all here.
What is this? Outsiders, you're gonna get us all killed.
Quiet, Anton. He helped Leonardo and Elena.
We were doing fine by ourselves.
Please, Ethan, take a seat.
Dumb, huh?
Is this all that's left? From your entire village?
All that's left? All that's left? There is no one left! A worthless invalid? A stupid, wailing bitch! And you!
Bruh.
You drag a bloody man and an outsider in here like it's nothing? And expect to be all safe? There is no safe! Every sorry bastard out there has been ripped in half. But tomorrow? Tomorrow we'll all be dead. Just like her damn husband. Put a sock in him, Roxana!
That's enough!
You need to leave.
This house has protected my family for generations. And drunk or not, you are all welcome and safe in here.
Whatever.
Can someone please tell me what the hell is going on here?
We don't know. One day we were a quiet, devout village, and the next, the monsters came and attacked us. And they kept coming.
Wait, Louisa, where is your husband?
Oh, he's probably dead.
No.
Oh.
No, he is out there. Somewhere. He went to get help. Yes, that's it. He went to fetch help.
He's definitely dead. Like, I'm sorry. Oh.
For him. For all of us.
Oh, prayer circle. Okay.
Come.
It's my first prayer circle.
Gather.
All right, everyone, let's pray.
Great ones, hear our voice. Together as one in reverence. We
come thee within the endless dark to deliver us into fate's hands. As the midnight moon rises on black wings, so we make our sacrifice and wait a light at the end. In life and in death, we give glory to Mother Miranda. Amen.
Now, the tea should be ready. Come help me, Elena, please.
That prayer, I've heard it before. There was an old woman near the graveyard.
You mean the hag? Bitch is crazy as a bag of rats.
There is wisdom in her devotion, though. And I hope it protected her as it shall protect us.
Whoa,
What
whoa.
are you doing?
Leonardo, what's wrong? Are you okay?
Oh shit. Bro!
Father!
Elena, no, stay back!
No, let me go!
Oh, you're dead, bro. You're dead.
We have to go!
Oh, nah. Oh, nah.
Let him go!
Elena. Well, I'll be. Shotty got a thing or two.
No! Oh my God. I'm so sorry, Father.
Hey, that wasn't your father anymore. You did the right thing.
Oh, he's not dead. He's not dead.
Elena, no. There's nothing you can do.
Papa!
This entire place is collapsing.
Let's go. Let's roll.
You couldn't save him. He was already gone.
Leave me alone.
No, we're getting out of here. Together.
Well, to be fair, Elena, you're the one who did that. You're the one who shot him. So I don't know why you're getting mad at me. You know what I mean? Like, take responsibility for your actions. Can we drive this car? Just for the record, that was your fault. What do you mean that was my fault? I saved them. I literally saved them. Like, I don't know what you want from me. All right, is there any more ammo? We gotta find a way out. This place is gonna burn. This place is actually gonna burn. Oh shit. Oh god. Oh, I gotta find the key. Okay. Oh, thank you. Okay, the key. Okay. Okay, I got the key. Oh. And the screwdriver. What's in here? Oh, I got some lay. Take the screwdriver out of the key ring if you need it. I definitely will need it. All right, we got the key. Oh, shit.
Damn, the fire's moving fast.
Oh, shit. Okay, where do we go? Oh. Yeah, all right, let's go. Let's do this. Come on, Elena.
What are you thinking?
Step back. We can bust out with this.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh, hit the gas. Let's go. Hit the gas. Oh, shit.
Ethan, are you all right?
Yeah, Shotty, yes.
Let me back up again.
The fire. There isn't any time.
Oh, shit. Oh, God.
Nowhere to go but up.
Let's go. Let's go. Let's go.
Grab on. Hurry.
Come on. Elena, I know you're mad at me, but we can do this, all right? We're gonna make this out together. Mia's dead. Your father is dead. All we got is each other, all right?
Don't worry.
We got this.
And try not to breathe in the smoke.
It's okay.
I know. Thank you, Ethan.
You're welcome, Shotty.
You're kind. I hope you're...
Oh.
Come on.
Come on.
There. That's our way out.
Thank God. But what then? The village is still full of monsters.
We can do this.
We can't fight them. There's too many.
Hey, don't talk like that. We'll find a safe house to put you in until I can find my daughter. My hunch is she's in that old castle.
No. That place is full of nothing but blood and death.
What the hell is in there?
I don't want to be alone while you're... Father?
Oh, nah.
Elena, no.
Get away from
That's
him.
Not him. Not anymore.
No.
He said my name. Father!
Wait, it's not safe.
Elena. Elena. What did I tell you?
Come on. Give me your hand.
Ethan, go. Save your daughter.
Elena, don't give up. Reach for me. God damn it. Why is everyone dying on me? This is just too much.
Bruh, Elena. We could have made it. You don't understand. I have protagonist powers.
I just don't get it.
She's so dead. She is so dead. I got protag powers, all right? You could have been safe with me.
Why the fuck is this happening again?
I don't know, Ethan. I don't know.
Shit.
Bro, dude, relax. It's just a video game, all right? Where the hell do I go? Oh. Ooh. Ooh, what do we have here? Oh. What was that? What was that?
Who's there?
Stop! Mother Miranda!
Hey!
Whoa.
What was that?
That was Mother Miranda. If I had to take a guess. Mr. President, get down! Mr. President! Oh, it's the old ass lady again.
Death.
Yo, what's good? Fine shit?
Yes. Death has visited them all.
What the Sigma? Freak. No, please stop flirting with the elderly. I can't help it, okay? It's not my fault she bad, okay? All right. Rose.
Huh?
That is what she said. That is what she said. All right. What the hell's over here?
Well.
What? Whoa. What the hell? Whoa, what the hell is that? Bro.
You must be pretty tough. Huh.
Who the fuck are you?
Oh, you're not local. Even better. Mother Miranda's gonna love you.
Hello? What? What's happening?
But you're whining. We're almost there.
Devilish Charles, thank you so much for the tier 1. Double. Can we get a W? Let's go. Alright, where the hell are we going?
The man is of no real use to anyone else, and my daughters do so love entertaining foreigners. Furthermore, I can assure you, if you entrust the moment to House Dimitrescu, my daughters and I will deliver the finest cups of
Ugly,
this
I want to see. He's awake.
Brother, shut the fuck up!
What? Where?
You mean you'll screw around with him in private, and where's the fun in that? Give him to me, and I'll put on a show that everybody can enjoy.
Ugh, so gauche. What do we care for bread and circuses? The man thing's suffering.
Lady D. That's Lady D.
The man's dick is cut off in the castle, blah, blah, blah.
This is the council.
I've heard all your arguments. Some of you were less persuasive than others, but I've made my decision. Heisenberg, the man's fate is in your hands.
Mother Miranda, I must protest. Heisenberg is but a child, and his devotion to you is questionable. Give the mortal to me, and I will ensure he is ready.
Shut your damn hole! And don't be a sore loser! Go find your food somewhere else.
Quiet now, child. Adults are talking.
I'm the child.
Mommy?
You're the one who's arguing with Miranda's decision.
You wouldn't know responsibility if it was welded
Oh,
to
keep growing! One day your head might actually fit your ego!
Hey, don't I get a say in this?
Silence! My decision is final. There will be no argument. Remember from whence you came.
Thank you. Huh. Lycans and gentlemen, we thank you for waiting. And now let the games begin.
We are surrounded.
Let's see what you're Ethan Winters. Get ready.
How does he know my name?
No!
Bruh.
9, 8,
Bruh.
7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Bruh. Oh god. Oh god. Oh fuck me.
Jesus Christ!
That's right. Run for your life.
Shut up! It's stupid!
Yeah.
Very nice, Ethan.
Oh, they got bows and arrows and shit. Oh god. Why? Why?
You're still alive?
no. Where the fuck do I go? Where do I go? Oh, here. Here. Crouch.
Shit!
Oh God.
My word. You truly are as strong as they say. Oh, you didn't think I'd let you get away, did you?
What do I do?
Gotta keep Donna and Moreau entertained.
Where?
So now it's time for the beautiful,
I'm dead.
blood-soaked grand finale. Nothing like fresh American growth.
Okay, we can do this. We can actually do this. All right, let's do this.
Jesus Christ!
That's right.
There's a corner to the left.
Run for
Okay.
your life.
Okay.
Very nice, Ethan.
Okay, I trust you. Corner to the left.
You're still alive? Impressive.
This is kind of like a movie. I feel like I'm in an action movie. Hello? Okay, thank you.
Shit!
Corner to the left.
My word. You truly are as strong as they
Not
say.
here, right? Oh, here. Yeah. Okay.
Oh, you didn't think I'd let you get away, did you?
Yeah.
Gotta keep Donna and Moreau entertained.
Hi, Jaguar.
So now
Welcome.
it's time for the beautiful, blood-soaked grand finale. Nothing like fresh American ground beef.
Jesus.
Too close.
That was way too fucking close.
Wait, do those freaks have Rose?
Probably. I'm gonna take a big fat guess and say probably. Yeah, okay, I know something's gonna be here. I know. I can feel it in my fucking lungs. Alright. Low. Is my map working? Yes. Okay, where the hell do we go from here? Heisenberg, let me hawk tool on that. Why he's so down bad for him? I mean, he's all right. He's all right. Ooh. Open sesame. Have I seen the art? No, I have not. Oh, damn. Oh, I got my gun. Guess who's back? What is that?
I've been waiting for you, Mr. Winters.
Oh.
How do you know my name?
Hello?
Anyone who is anyone has heard of the likes of you.
Uh-huh.
A hero searching for his daughter. Though I must say, that castle arouses suspicion.
Bro is humongous. Oh my god, he's like 8 feet tall.
I am but a humble merchant.
Oh.
Oh, forgive my manners. Call me the Duke. Now
The
to
Duke.
business. Weapons, ammunition, healing salves, anything you desire, I can provide.
Ah. Okay, he's the merchant.
If it's just looking, window shop away.
Oh,
I've
okay.
procured some new items for you, Mr. Winters.
All right, let's see. Gunsmith. Ah, okay. How much is that? 8,000? Okay, maybe not. Reload speed. Supplies. We do need some shotgun ammo. And some handgun ammo. Oh, wait. Wait. There we go.
Thank you for your purchase.
You're welcome. Okay. Okay, I think we got everything we need, right? The Duke's purse. Okay, we could sell stuff too. Okay. Let's go back. Let's go back. Thank you.
A good deal, if I say so myself.
Mm-hmm. Is there a save? Normally there's like a save or something. What was that? Is there a save? Was there a save back here? Should be a save inside, alright. That's why you loot like crazy. Yeah. Listen, if I learned anything from Resident Evil 4 is that we just gotta loot, we gotta kill as many as we can.
Could Rose be here?
Probably. You never know. 3 daughters, Bella, Cassandra, and Daniela. 500 lei. Oh, save. Can I break this? Oh, 380 lei. Can I break this? No. Oh, there's a thing here. No, there's not. I'm lying. Okay, we go this way. Wait, what's in here? It's locked. Got some ammo. Oh, save. Oh, save. What the fuck was that? Oh.
Looking for Rose?
Oh, hello, ladies. Oh. Bro.
Man blood.
Oh, they so want me. This is not lesbian turf. This is the bisexual barrows. This is the bisexual barrows if I've ever seen them.
Mother, I bring you fresh prey.
You are so kind to me, daughters. Now, let's take a look at him. Well, Ethan Winters. You escaped my little brother's idiot games, did you? Let's see how special you are.
Yes, I'm really special. Goth mommy and her 3 harlots of despair. Hey, yo.
Starting to go a little stale.
Then let's devour his man flesh quickly, Mother.
I am the one who captured him.
Now, daughters. First, I must inform Mother Miranda. But later, well, there will be enough for everyone. Put him up.
Hey, wait.
Bruh.
Oh, be careful what you wish for, Ethan Winters.
Wait, what
Where are you going? Oh, they want me. They want me so bad. It's crazy. Okay. All right, let's get the fuck out of here. Let's get the fuck out of here. Oh. Oh, why are you doing that? Oh. He like literally yanked it. Yeah, give me that. Ah, much better. Much better. Crimson glass. Let's see, can I craft anything? Okay. Hi, Clarity. Welcome. Guys, I need to use the restroom really quickly. Give me 1 minute. I will be right back, okay? 1 minute. 1 minute. 1 minute. I'll be right back. All right, I'm back. Hello, everybody. Hello. All right, we are so back. You own this chat? I don't think so. Can I use a controller? I can. I kind of don't want to, though. This is not really a controller kind of game for me. I don't know why. For some reason, when it comes to first-person shooters, I cannot control them well. Use a controller well. But when it comes to like third-person shooters, I can do much better. It's locked. Of course, I gotta go through here. Of course. Your kiss redeem? Oh, thank you. Mwah. 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 Oh, rats. Nasty. Ah. All right. There's gonna be some monsters here. I can just feel it in my bones. Hidden door grind. Oh. I can just feel the monsters that are gonna be here. I just can feel it in my bones.
Where have they taken Rose?
What the hell? What the hell? Oh, I need their hands. I need head. Okay. Oh, hey.
Oh, we meet again.
Hello.
Duke, why are you here?
where there's coin to be made. And have you found your daughter?
No.
If she is truly here, the lady of the castle would have kept little Rose in her private chambers, would she not?
Domitresk?
The very same. Why don't you take a look? Maybe you'll get lucky. And speaking of looking, care to make a purchase? Seeking something in particular?
I think I can sell the crimson glass.
And buy it I will.
Yeah. Let's see, what can I
Securing
buy?
goods is more important than anything. Anything, my friend.
Let's see. I barely have enough.
Have a wonderful adventure.
Oh, there's a save. Ah, I feel safer already. All right, let's see. Where do we go from here? Hello? What is that? I'm gonna swing from a chandelier, from a chandelier. Not for long. What you mean by that? What you mean by that? No matter how many times I watched this in the previous game, I feel so bad for Ethan. Me too. He really gets the short end of the stick. Wait. Okay, hold on. Yeah, there we go. Good old-fashioned Resident Evil. Oh. Nothing. All right. Oh. Oh, nah. Oh, nah. Oh, nah. Oh, nah. Oh, nah. What the hell? What the... What?
I haven't cut open a man in a while.
Go away.
Let me string you up, slice your jugular, and just watch.
What the hell?
Live, dead, which would you prefer?
I
can't hold back any longer.
Neither? Like... Hello? Hello? Hi, Ah! Go away. Oh, can't go there. Fuck, what do I do? Where do I go? Oh, here.
Really?
Yeah, really? I'm not your plaything. Alright? The wand wants to have me taken. Oh shit. Okay. She better not, like, get me, because, you know, like, I'm not for sale. I don't care if Lady D, like, wants me. Like, I'm not gonna accept her request. It's, like, a little weird, if you ask me. Trust in light. So I guess whenever there's light, just trust it. Okay. Lady D hates men. Well, then why is she trying to get me so bad? Why is she sucking my blood? Like... Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, why? Like, why though? She's a vampire. That's no excuse. Wait, what do I do here? What do I do? What do I do with this? Oh, okay. What's this? This is secret. Oh God. Secret room. Okay. No. I don't agree to this. I don't agree to being in a dark area with little to no light and things are creaking. I don't agree to that. Me personally, I just, you know, I don't. But, you know, like, you do you, I suppose. These are her torture chambers? Nah. Robust appetite. Oh. Hey, that's cool. Raspy hissing. Hey. You think I'm scared of you? I'm afraid of nothing. I'm a fearless dog.
I can't believe Cassandra caused all this mess.
Oh, hey! Stop it.
I hate stupid men.
You're stupid.
Squeeze the blood out when they're alive, and it's that. Where are you going, little one?
Hi. Oh, she's kind of hot. Like I can't even lie. Okay. I can't. Oh, she wants me. Oh, she wants me.
Cannot harm.
Oh, she wants me.
You stupid man thing!
Yeah. I think I just converted her to lesbianism.
You bastard!
Come here. Come here.
This can't be!
Oh. We just made the bisexual fully gay. I'm kind of proud of myself. I did that. She hates men. She really hates men now after what I did to her. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. What was her name? Was it Belle? I'm sorry, Belle. I didn't mean to, but I gotta find my baby. Ooh. I got to find my baby. Wouldn't you do the same? Wouldn't you kill the hot goth vampire lady to find your kid? Like, I feel like we'd all do the same. No. What do you mean no? All right. I don't feel safe in this castle. Oh. Ah, okay. Let's see. What the hell? Okay, I guess I'm missing something. Yeah, I don't feel safe here. This is not a safe space. Oh, but you know what? Chotto matte. It's really what Markiplier said. If you take a man who would do anything for his child, then you take away his child. The man will do whatever it takes to get revenge. And Markiplier's right. That's the correct logic. There we
I've
go.
expanded my services. Please, come take a look.
Okay.
Ah, yes, yes.
All right, let's sell. I guess we can sell both of these.
Your coin.
All right, and we can improve the power.
What are you buying? Just something an old friend of mine used to say.
Yes.
Aha.
Yes. Yes. Let's go. What is this? Recipe for shotgun ammo. Sure.
Selection.
Recipe for rifle ammo. Recipe for mines. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Your stomach hurts, poor baby.
Yes, I can see why you'd be interested in that. Pay me no mind.
How many do I have? I have 3 first aids. Okay.
Have a wonderful
Let's do a quick save. Do a quick save. There we go. All right, let's go find it. We gotta find Mother Miranda. We gotta find our baby. We gotta take care of the shotties. Have we been in here? Whoa. Is this them? The 3 sisters? Okay. Okay, we've been upstairs. I don't think we actually, this way, I don't think we've been yet. I don't think we've fully explored this. Let's check it out. Oh, we can unlock it. Okay. Here we've... Well, this is where we started. Okay. You finished your sketch? Let's go. That's a W. It's hard to believe. It's hard to believe. Yeah, it is very hard to believe. Damn, where the hell do we go? Let's check the map. Merchant's room. We've already been there. Hall of the Four. We've already been there too. I think it's upstairs. You post on Twitter? Let's go! Oh. God, there's so many hidden rooms in this fucking place. Gunpowder. Courtyard key. Hello? Whoa, oh, 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 oh. If you like it, then you should. Okay, no. If you like it, then you should have put a ring on it. I'm for looking at the housemaid right now. Oh. Do another quick save. Wait, what? Okay.
Wish to make a purchase?
Alright, let's go to the courtyard.
We will meet again soon.
I bet we will, Daddy. I bet we will. Courtyard key. Is there really nothing else we can do for the Hall of the Four? I guess not. I really, really, really hate long hallways. They're my personal hell. I'll take that. We need a herb. School hallways? No, don't even remind me. I mean, to be fair, my school was like an outdoor campus, so there was never really
Shall I
like...
give you the tour?
I'm sorry, I'm sorry! Mama! Oh, hey! Oh. Stop it! Tome inside, Mama!
Not bad.
I gotta take her outside, right? Where is it? Oh, God. Oh, no, 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 no. I'm sorry, Nope.
My throat, it's so dry.
I don't care. Hey. Oh, hey. Can you help me out? Can you, like, help a brother out? Okay, I guess not. Wait, where was it? Where was that place? You know what I'm talking about. Where was it? You can't shoot them until they are exposed to the outside. Yeah, I have to like, oh God, where is it? Is it that way? Okay, where is she? Where is she? I have to like take her here. Hello? Hey. Where did she go? Where did she go? Hey, lady. You... Lady? Did she just disappear? She just disappeared. Where is she? Hey, yo. Oh, there you are. Oh my God. Don't scare me like that. Do not scare me like that, Blue Fang. Oh, excuse me. Excuse me. Oh. Come here. Bruh, come here. Yeah, merchant's a safe room. I'm trying to get her outside. Yeah. She won't follow me outside? She's such a tease. I want her to come with me though. Oh. Oh. Oh God. Oh God. Oh God. Oh God. There she is. There's mommy. Mommy. Your puppy is here. Puppy Noro has arrived.
What have you done to my daughter?
Oh God. Oh God. I'm just gonna chill in the blood. Where is she? Hello? Where did she go? Please don't scare me. I'm a good boy. I'm actually a good boy. I promise. I promise. What do I do here? Is there anything here? A mother's revenge. Oh. Oh, I'm missing something. Okay. Oh. Ah. Yes. Yeah. Okay. So Mother Miranda is looking that way. The three men. What do I do here? Oh, women. Okay. Women are blind to male advances, but the poor shall take their chances to give their lord a bounty sown, so that soon the wine may flow. Women are blind to male advances, so that means they're looking at each other. Hey, okay. Let's go. Okay. Oh. Yes. Easy peasy. That was almost too easy. Let's go. Oh.
What the hell?
So much blood. Ugh. Nasty. Hey, yeah, okay, let's go this way. No, let's go this way. No. Oh, hello. Do you think you can help me out? Wait, where do I go? Oh, here. Oh God. Oh. Okay. So extra and for what? Yep. Oh. What you want? There's definitely more. There's always more. Where the fuck are you? Oh, no. You dumb bitches. Oh. Go away. You dumb little bitch. Dumb little bitch. Yep. Oh. Okay. Okay. The little bitch. Yep. That's what you get. You don't ever out Noro the Rashi. You don't ever out Noro the Rashi. Thousand lay. Oh. The phone's ringing. Oh God. Oh. Hi, Mama. Oh, how did she not see me?
Mother Miranda, I regret to inform you that Ethan Winters has escaped that fool Heisenberg. Because he is in my castle and has already proven too much for my daughters to handle. When I find him... No, Mother Miranda. Yes, of course, I understand the importance of the ceremony. I won't let you down.
God damn.
To hell with the ceremony! That man will pay for what he's done.
I could have saved? Okay, let me... Wait, can I not save? I can't go back! Oh no. Wait, I should be able to.
Rose, where are you?
I should be able to go back. Why can't I? Are you serious right now? So everything is locked pretty much. It's locked from this side. You move forward? That's what I did. I did move forward. No save equals fun challenge. It's not a fun challenge. I am going forward. It just won't let me. It won't let me. Get ready for some grabbing? What do you... The lamp? The lamp? Oh. Are you serious? Am I gonna die? Oh God.
There you are. All this for a child who isn't even here.
What the hell do...
You ungrateful, selfish wretch! You come into my house! You lay your filthy man hands on my daughters, and now you even try to steal my property! How dare you! Rest while you can, because I will hunt you, and I will break you!
Go ahead, do your worst.
Yeah, fucko. Think I'm scared? Where do I go? Oh, here. The hunt begins. Come here, you dumb bitch. I'll kill your other daughters too. You don't believe me?
Ah, shit! Like I'd let you get away. You'll be sliced to ribbons before you ever see a child.
Oh, you're fucking kidding me!
You will learn what it means to insult our stomach task.
Oh no! I'm sorry, Mommy! Mommy, forgive me! Mommy, forgive me! I got my hand? Cool. Oh god! Mother! Mama! Mama! Ooh, didn't mean to make you cry. Please, please, please! Didn't.
Running will get you nowhere!
Bro, how do I put my hand back? What? 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 I just put my hand back on like a Lego piece? What?
Good.
What do you mean good? Oh, nah. Hey. Is there more? Where the fuck are they? I hear them. Where are they? Oh, there you are. Okay, there's definitely more. Where are you guys? Mina. Oh, I see you there. Okay, where's the merchant? Okay, it's straight to the left. All right, straight and then to the left. Straight and then to the. Oh, I know she's gonna be here. I can feel her in my bones. There's a save where the merchant is. Let's go save. Oh, hey.
It's a pleasure to see you safe. How were things?
Well,
no sign of Rose.
So sorry it turned out that way. Well, you'll find your way to her once you're out of this castle. Do you have need of anything for the road ahead? Welcome, welcome. You're sure to find something new.
Guess you can say things got out of hand. Nah, you crazy for that. You're crazy for that.
Well then, feel free to peruse.
All right, let's see.
What are you buying? Just something an old friend of mine used to say.
Okay.
Good day.
Let's see. Can we craft anything? Craft another one.
Hey then.
Oh, I really need, like... Can I sell anything?
Good. I was just thinking of ways to pass the time.
Crystal skull. Yeah, let's sell
Little and
that.
often fills the purse, as they say.
Okay, I need... Not this. Okay.
Good day then.
Alright. Let's save. I need 4 of them? Oh, God. Oh, God. Okay, I need to escape the castle, though. How do I escape? Is it this way? Combine the piece to the handgun. Ah. All right, where the fuck are you, Miranda? Not Miranda, Lady D. Where the frick are you?
Play with me some more.
No, like, you're fucking annoying. Dumb biznatch. Don't trust the Duke at all. Is he my enemy? Bro's just taking a nap. What do you mean don't trust him? He's just a guy. Bro's having nap time. Okay, where do we go? What do we even do? Like... I know she's gonna be around. Where is she? Oh God, oh God, oh God. Okay,
See, there you are.
Okay, I'm sorry, Mommy, I'm sorry. Oh God, I'm sorry. She's waiting for me. She's waiting. Oh. This game of cat and mouse we play together. Oh God. Look at her. Look at her. What the hell do I do? Oh God, oh God, oh God, oh God, oh God. Yes. Shooting in your ass. You really gonna leave? Oh, okay, okay. Hi. Hi. There's a fly swatter you can use? Where? Hi. Mommy, where are you going? Uppies? Oh my god. Oh, no. Oh, thank you. No, thank you. No, thank you. No, thank you. I'm okay. I feel safe here. I feel safe here. I feel safe here. I feel safe. Guys, what do I do? What do I do? Guys, what do I do? Seriously. That's my safe place. This is my safe place. You have to go upstairs? Fuck. She's a cat. She's luring you with some false sense of security. You know what? I'm not afraid. I'm actually not afraid. I still have the key. Do I have the key? I do have the key. I do. I do. But she's right there.
You disgusting outsider.
Bro, look at her yacht. Yeah, walk away, pussy.
So we finally.
Okay, I'm sorry. Oh god! Sorry, I thought she was gone. Go away. Yeah, walk away. Walk away. Dummy. Dumbass. 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 Okay. Oh god. She's still there, right? Oh. Can you like... Can you go away? You need to run out when she isn't looking? Okay. Go away. Go away! Like, go away! Well, it's just you and me, staring into each other's eyes. How are you, mother? Oh! You can still get me from there? Okay, go away. Go away. Yep. She's not gonna die, right? She's like... Yeah, I'm doing nothing to her. Maybe don't go out there every 2 seconds. Let me live my life, okay? Let me live my life. She can't die. Bro, are you okay? We're in this like three-way stalemate. Me, the Duke, and Lady D. Let's check our map. Where do we gotta go? Let's see. Don't waste my bullets. I know what to do. Is she right there? No. She's gonna come from there. Okay, what's the game plan? What is the game plan? We have to go upstairs. I'm just gonna go upstairs. I'm just gonna go upstairs. Yep. Okay. We're going upstairs. Wine room. Okay. She can't get us in here, right? I don't think she can get us in here. I think we're okay. She can? Oh god. No, she can't. No, she can't. No, she can't. See, look, she's not here. What do you mean I'm dead? She's not here. I'm safe. I'm safe. I'm safe. Bro, go away, fuggo.
I guess I should hold back a little.
You told me to go upstairs. All right. Bro, what do I do? Like what? Like what? What do I... This game we play, just you and I. Where are you going? Where are you going? Okay, have fun. She's like right there. You hear her, right? Oh. Okay, you know what? We're gonna have my little castle. We're gonna have my... Yeah, we're gonna have my little castle. We're gonna have my little Duke. We're gonna have my little save. All right, fuck it.
You disgusting outsider!
She's still there. Okay, just walk away. Walk away, lady. away. One tap a second. One tap a second. Just go outside. She's still there. Please don't be there. Oh, she's walking away. Hey.
See, there you
Oh,
are.
she's going so fast. Oh my God. Oh dear God. Go away. Stupid. She can't get me here, right? Because she's a vampire. Yeah. We're safe. Oh, no, we're not safe. Look at her. Wait, I thought she was a vampire. Oh! No, I'm running. I'm running. She following me? The sun ain't out. The sun is as out as it can get. Ah, she's so fine. Like, I don't... Okay. All right, I'm just gonna leave. Goodbye. Don't go back in the same room. What choice do I have? What choice do I have? What choice? Miss my castle. And I have my Duke. Hi, Duke. Oh, he's a sleepy little guy. Oh, I didn't mean to wake you. I'm sorry. All right, let me... I got my little corner. Got my little heel. There we go. I feel all nice and safe. You know what? Hey, you guys. Hey, you guys. Hey, what's going on? What's going on, you guys? What's going on? How are we doing today? Just you and I. Let's just chat. Just you and I. Chicken? I'm actually a dog. I'm not a chicken at all. That room should be banned. That's like my only save spot. Bark. No. You mean bark. Mm. Oh, we're at a wolf. I'm a wolf. Of course. Ow! I'm very brave, just like a wolf. Okay, in all seriousness, aside from being a pussy, my voice is kind of killing me. So I do wanna take a break. Maybe we should chat for a little bit before we end stream. Accepting defeat? I won't accept defeat. Actually, you know what? Here's what we're doing. I'm losing this battle, right? I've lost a battle. It's official. I've lost the battle. But I will not lose the war. Okay, I'm not giving up. Where's the Discord server? The Discord server is right here. Stretch and hydrate. So here's the thing. We've lost the battle. We're giving up today. But that doesn't mean we're stopping. That just means we're going to play another day. I've consistently beat every Resident Evil game that we've played so far, and I am not going to lose this one. We can help with the difficult section. All right, bet. We've been every single game so far. I will play. I actually will. I'm actually going to put it in my schedule next week. What Resident Evil game haven't I played? Okay, so I played 1, 2, 3, 4, 7, and now we're playing 8. So the only ones, yeah, Tactical Retreat. The only ones I haven't played are 5 and 6. Low key, I'm kind of waiting for remakes of those before I even touch them. Yeah, we haven't played 5 or 6 yet. Also, guys, apparently I can play the game in third POV. I can play in third person POV. Laser Frog, you want a kiss? So I think that actually might be a little better. Apparently I can. Apparently that's possible. So I think that would actually help, because for some reason, mainly with a controller, right? Because I can play Resident Evil 2, 3, and 4 with a controller just fine. But when it comes to first-person shooters, I really suck with a controller. Oh, Midnight Queen, thank you for the 100 bits. Take this from my Google Play credits. Thank you. Thank you for the 100 bits. You post a sketch in the server. Let's go. Let's go. For all it's worth, you were brave. Thank you. Honestly, okay, here's the thing, right? I don't think this is as bad in terms of my unenjoyment as 7. Because as you guys know, I really hated Resident Evil 7. But I hated it because, number one, it was like almost too scary. But also there was just bugs in the game where like the jump scares that happened made it not fair. So like things would happen, like I would be hiding like, and they wouldn't get me. And then literally the next second, they would be like right in my face when it was like a bug. And like that wasn't supposed to happen. So there was like too many bugs for 7. But this one on the other hand seems a lot more like optimized. I feel like most of the jump scares that happen are like justified. It also feels more like a story than like just like a survival horror. It feels like there's like a major plot going on. And I do like Ethan Winters as a character. I do like him quite a bit. Like it is scary. It is really scary. But also I feel like I don't know. I feel like it's more justified. It feels more like 4 to me than it does like 7. Ethan is a good guy. He is a good guy. I also like that he's just like a normal guy. I mean, aside from the fact that he literally just plopped his dismembered arm back onto his hand back onto his like nub of an arm, and it just came back. What is that all about? I'm assuming that has to do with the story. But like, why he do that? Why he do that? It was very magical. It was very, very magical. So apparently there's a lot more to the game than I guess that I've seen, because I've really only seen like the first part. But it seems like we're gonna be fighting, aside from Lady D, We're gonna be fighting 4 other people minimum. You already know the ending? Okay. No spoilers, no spoilers. Yeah, Noms is just chilling. Let my boy breathe. Hey, Noms. Guess what? Guess what? What? Chicken butt. Noms is a good boy. Okay, Clarity, have a good night. I hope to see you tomorrow. Tomorrow, we're also going to be playing another scary game. Tomorrow, we're going to be playing the new Chilla's art game called, what is it called? Cursed Digicam. So we're playing another scary game tomorrow. Noms has seen all the horrors. Honestly, so true. Yeah, we're playing Cursed Digicam tomorrow. And if we finish that kind of early, we might play a different game, maybe, perchance. Perchance. Perchance, perchance, perchance. More spooky now. Honestly, I know that it's not really like a spooky season, but I do want to play more scary games. Noms is cuter than Noro Gang? What? Nuh-uh. Nuh-uh. No. How could you? How could you? How could you? I thought I was your Oshi. There's another game I want to play. I don't know when I want to play it, but I do want to play it. It's called Amenti. I've been seeing a lot of people play that lately, so I do want to play that as well. I'm your Oshi, really? Oh, thank you, Bippy. Thank you. Mwah. You got your snacks? Guys, what are your favorite kind of snacks? Noro plays Hello Kitty Island Adventure. You know what? When that comes out, we will be playing it. When does it come out? Teeny, you want a kiss? Mwah. Mwah, 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 mwah. Oh, it comes out in 5 days. You're the only VTuber I watch, so I guess so. Really? I'm the only VTuber you watch? You know what? I'm kind of honored. I'm kind of honored to have that. And it's not just because I'm the jealous type. I get very jealous very easily. And when I see that you're watching another VTuber, I'm like, Mary, you want a kiss? Fine, I'll watch Noro. How yandere am I? I'm pretty yandere. I'm pretty yandere, and people think I'm joking. I really am kind of yandere. I'm like, don't look at anybody else. Nobody else will be looking at you. And if you do look at someone else, or if someone else looks at you, then you're done. Don't be jelly, Noro. Nobody is as affectionate as you. Yeah, and if they try to be, then they're just trying to be me, okay? I just hope you know that. I generally don't watch other streamers right now. I used to be big on watching streamers in 2020 because... Really? Oh, you're so sweet. Oh, thank you, Fix. Mwah, 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 mwah. You guys think I'm joking, but I'm not. I've had certain people where they're like, "Oh my god, you're my favorite VTuber. I don't watch anybody else but you." And then I'll see that they're watching another VTuber and then they're saying the exact same thing to them. And I'm like, yeah, to be honest, a lot of other streamers get kind of boring. I never stay for the whole stream. To be fair, I do also get kind of boring sometimes. What if you mod for someone else? Well, like I said, I have a very clear and simple answer for you. If you mod for somebody else, you're getting the leash. Okay? Hmm? 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 I just realized you've been my Oshi for 2 years. Happy 2-year anniversary. What I need, Papa. Yeah, I promise. Cross my heart, promise. Okay. I think it's about time. We've hit the 3-hour mark. Honestly, whenever we hit the 3-hour mark, I'm satisfied. I'm satisfied with the stream. I'm like, thank God we finished the stream. But if we go over 3 hours, then it's like a bonus. It's like all that is like extra time. Thank you. Let me see if we can raid anybody. If there's any channels I want to raid right now. Let's see. Good night, Riri. Oh my god, Queso's streaming. Does he have raids on? You know what? If Queso has raids on, we'll raid him. We'll see. You guys want to go watch Queso? Let's go. I want to watch Queso. Let's go. Oh no, he doesn't have raids on. Okay. You know what? Whatever. It doesn't matter. He has raids disabled. What a dingus. Amber, you want a kiss? Okay, it doesn't matter. We don't have to raid anybody. We can raid somebody next time if we find anyone we want to raid. Okay. Thank you everybody for being with me. Thank you to everyone who raided. Thank you to everyone who gifted subs. Thank you to all the new subs we have today. Thank you. And most of all, thank you for being with me this whole stream. Thank you for spending time with me. I love you. And I will see you tomorrow. I'll see you tomorrow at the same time for more scary game. More. Okay. Good night, baby. Good night. Mwah.